Here we go. Let's make a roof plan. In this case, we're going to start with our space plan drawing and make a roof plan. So the first thing we need to do is make a layout for it. So I've opened up my space plan file, and I see that I have a layout called space plan. That's all really cool. And I want to make a copy of this and rename it as roof plan. So right click on the space plan, move or copy, and I'm going to create a copy and move it to the end. And then it calls it space plan 2 because it made a copy, so I need to rename it as roof plan. So that's our step 1. Now step 2 is we're going to go to model space and redraw, and then we have to come back and clean these two up. They're not gonna look right anymore. And I'll show you how to do that. But let's go back to the model and figure out how to draw this thing. First of all, we're doing a 2-foot eave offset. So let me do the offset command, and I'm a typer. Offset. Let me check my units to make sure that what units I'm working in. I'm architectural, so I'm going to use the foot and inches symbol. So from offset, I'll type 2 foot. And then I'll select some of these. And that's actually probably enough because I think I can do a fillet command with a radius of 0. I should be able to fillet this one and that one. Oh, that one worked. And then maybe I can do a trim and do that fillet again to connect these two. And that gives me a nice, quick, and easy roof to work with. So those are my eaves. Now, when you draw a roof plan, the idea is that all the angles off of a corner are 45 degrees. That's just what a plan view looks like when your roof slopes are all the same. So let me set my tracking for 45 degrees, and I'll just start. Oh, and I did that. Those are on the walls. I think I need a new layer called roof. I do need a new layer called roof. And I look at my units and they're not set up. I didn't really set everything up right to get going. To my inches there. Turn my line weights off. And my line weights look pretty heavy too. I might want to knock those down a little bit in my adjusted scale. And that's just a view. Okay, so I was about to make a roof layer. So I'll copy it from that one. So I'll do new. You all be comfortable with doing this, I think. Roof. And make that one like clicking all over the place. That's current now. So now these go on to the roof layer. That goes on to the roof layer. Or I'm going to have some problems. Where'd my roof layer? Did I not get that name right? There we go. And I want to make sure that I'm drawing on the roof layer. There. And you'll figure those out later on. But let's start. I'll start with this one. 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. And trim away the excess. And then I'll do that on the other main portions also. and a trim. Okay, so the next thing I know is that ridge lines happen to connect to the valleys. So I'm just going to draw a ridge line off of these two, and then I'll connect the valleys up to those ridge lines. I don't have to actually make them connect because I can use that fillet command. And this one looks slightly different than what's in the DT100 book because this was in place for. Okay, and then these are going to go up at least to that point. So those should, here's what it looks like in the end. Oops, grabbed the wrong one there. Where's my image? Had an image sitting up here of it somewhere. Oh, I know where the image is. Here. Yeah, these just come to connect together. Then there's one more ridge. Okay, so these ones can essentially in here, fillet those two. Oops, and I'm off a little bit somewhere. I've got one of my angles is off a little bit somewhere. I'll have to look in where I'm off. I might have been a little bit sloppy with that one. Yep, I was a little sloppy. With that one, if they don't all connect up, then you have to make sure that you get them so everything connects up. Just be careful on those as you go. And now I bet you these will all come together at that point. There we go. So that's how you draw your roof plan. And it's just sitting right on top. And so what you'll see is your space plan shows the roof plan, and your roof plan shows the space plan. So now we have to do a little bit of work to fix those up. Okay? So in our space plan, we can go into the model, and there's a very cool thing called freeze or thaw in current viewport. So I'm going to freeze the roof plan in this viewport. Voila. No longer see it. So that's another use of layers. Everything roof is now gone. It's still here, and I still get to see it here. And this is a common way that many architects arrange their drawings. They draw everything right on top of each other, and then they only show the part they want in their layouts. So now we'll go to roof plan, and I need to, in this one, hopefully I got everything on the right layer. I'll freeze or thaw furniture in this one. And it looks like I'm going to have to freeze or thaw. Was that on text? Nope. I don't know where my office ones were. Well, maybe there's another furniture. I have two furnitures. There we go. Now that looks good, but we want the roof plan to kind of stand out. We want it to be what we see, and we want to just barely see the walls below. So there's another cool tool. If I go into my model and go into my layers, I get a little bit more work done in the layers, and I'm going to open this up. viewport transparency. So when I see walls in a viewport, I'm going to put the transparency at, say, 50%. And I can do the same thing with doors at 50%. And I think windows probably at 50. And you can adjust these as you wish and see how nicely they kind of do. Okay, looks a lot lighter and a lot cleaner. Now I get out of my model, and when I look at my line weight, things look just a little bit better. Okay. There we go. That's how we want to be able to see it. So these are much lighter in the background as you see. And there's more to put onto a roof plan. You need some things that say how big the eave are and what's a hip and what's a valley and what's a ridge. But we're not going to do those. The things I wanted to teach have all been done. How do we work with the viewports and the views and to make things show and not show? So this is where, I do need to change this from space plan to roof plan. ATT, edit, if you recall. And so my company standard space plan becomes roof plan. And I've still got this. I've renamed this as space plan with roof plan demo, but you can just leave it in that same file name now because you haven't changed the file. Got our company standard roof plan, company standard space plan, and our model all in one, just to show one method of file management that is used in architectural industry.